All right, welcome back to another episode of CONVOS with KEEGS. This is episode 63, day 16 of the 30-day challenge. So that 30-day challenge, it's 30 podcasts in 30 days. I haven't been consistent with them like every day, but this will get me back to on track. That challenge is fucking hard, man. It's just a lot of recording and a lot of editing. But it's fun. It's definitely pushed me very, very hard to just keep ripping these out and keep building on the podcast and trying to get as many episodes under my belt as possible. And for anyone who's interested in getting in podcasting and starting your own podcast, I would definitely recommend just doing as many as possible, even if they're shit. Like, just keep going with it and don't stop, because the hardest thing in podcasting, anybody who does them will tell you, like, staying consistent is the hardest part and not giving up on it, because realistically, like, these podcasts that I'm doing now, they don't get many views at all. And I'm okay with that, because I know that I'm just trying to build my skills on a mic and in front of a camera and being comfortable doing so, and it definitely gets easier over time. And this challenge is definitely, like I said, it pushed me to just keep ripping them out and not stopping, which has been good. It's definitely been difficult, obviously, and the sustainability of it under the circumstances I'm in is the hard part, because it's not like I can, I'm not giving 100% attention to strictly the podcast. Like, there's so many other pieces of the business that I'm kind of working on, but it's probably my favorite part. I love doing the podcast, especially when I have guests on. I got to make some announcements first before I forget. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Comment some topic you want me to talk about, I guess. Subscribing definitely helps as well. I feel like I'm reading a fucking, what's it called? A script, like an ad script for my own YouTube channel, just because I'm still new to this, so I don't. It's hard to remember everything. I have to make announcements for in the very beginning. But to further on those announcements, we just did a collaboration with Annabelle Warren, a tattoo artist out of Austin, Texas. Our collab t-shirts are available on our website until December 27th, so a few more days. www.lonelycowboyco.com, and the podcast episode, I believe it was episode 56. Make sure to go check that out. And her blog, her Q&A blog, where we talk about just mental health and tattoos and the correlation between them. So yeah, go check all that shit out. We put a lot of work and effort into those, myself and the tattoo artists that we collab with. Very grateful for all the tattoo artists that we've collabed with. It's the message that we're spreading it's good, and it does help people. And I think that's the biggest kind of reason or motivation for me to keep going when I hear stories about, the podcasts or blogs or just content that I put out with Lonely Cowboy and with myself, Cowboy KEEGS. When you hear the stories about you, like, really having an impact on someone's life and motivating them to be better, it helps keep me motivated on dark days when sometimes I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm damn near burning myself out for what? And working 7 days a week from when I wake up to when I go to bed. Like, it's hard to kind of stick with it sometimes, just like any job and any pursuit of a much greater goal. Like, the dark days are very, very difficult a lot of the times, and trying to stay consistent with it and trying to keep going with it is it's been tough, especially because I am putting so much time and effort and energy into it, for the reason being it's for the people that like are impacted by it and who really take value from it. So to those people who we have helped and who find inspiration or motivation through these podcasts, through these videos, through anything we do with Lonely Cowboy, I do this for you guys, and I fucking love you for it. And it's inspiring to me hearing your stories as well. Shout out to my buddy Connor Broad. He has been a huge supporter of everything, and recently he opened up about, we did a podcast together. It'll come out right before this one, so that was episode 62, I believe. The full episode is on Spotify. The video episode is only 30 minutes because, as you guys know, if you've been following along, I don't have a podcast producer or the equipment to record a full-length podcast, like start to finish. So the full episode is on Spotify, and about at hour, like the 1 hour, 15-minute mark-ish is when we start talking about mental health a lot, and we go real deep. And it was a 3-hour podcast. It was one of the best podcast conversations I think I've ever had with someone. And I want to give a big shout out to you, Connor. That conversation meant a lot to me, and it's definitely something that a lot of people can take away from and get value from. It's not easy to open up and be vulnerable about personal struggles, and Connor was very open, and he's willing to talk about his struggles, and we need more people like that to continue to spread this message about mental health and normalize it, especially in men. I don't like to put emphasis on men's mental health because I am a strong believer that mental health is a topic that requires everyone to get on board with. But kind of tying back into another podcast episode I did with Annabelle Warren, the recent tattoo artist collab, she talked about how it comes more natural to be vulnerable and express emotions for women, and men sometimes do feel suppressed. And I totally agree. Like, men just aren't as open to talk about their shit, and it comes from generations and generations of pushing emotions and feelings down. And unfortunately, like, as much as you think you're a strong guy, like, if you don't talk about shit, you're not as strong as you think you are. And you're probably, your issues, because everyone has issues, there's no denying that. Everyone has demons in their head. Doesn't matter how big or small they are. Some people react to them differently, and some people can handle quote unquote bigger problems or bigger demons, so to say. It's all case by case, and every person has their own story and their own struggles. So I guess kind of to tie that tangent all together, more conversations and more open conversations like the one I had with Connor in the most recent podcast are very beneficial to a lot of people. And many people can find motivation and inspiration from hearing others talk about their struggles. I try and talk about mine as much as I can. I can't talk about a lot of specifics currently for many different reasons, but I do struggle every day. It's a never-ending battle, and it's not something that'll ever go away. You can only manage. You can never really eliminate. And, maybe one day eliminating mental problems will come into the equation. I don't know. I'm still young. I'm 22, so I don't have shit figured out. I haven't lived long enough to understand life to the fullest, or I don't have the wisdom to kind of I just don't have the life experience to kind of speak on how to get through shit in the long term, I know how to manage my shit and my demons now, but that isn't to say that shit'll work 10, 15, 20 years down the line. I just don't know, But to tie it all back again, the more conversations we can have and the more people we can motivate and inspire to open up about their feelings and their emotions and just get everything off of their chest, just talking about it with anyone helps. And I recommend, I've pushed it for a very large part of my life. I never wanted to see a therapist. I just feel like I didn't need it, or I felt, the stigma about having a therapist is weak and blah, 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 blah. But after being with a therapist, I can confidently say it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. And now realizing how many people are in therapy, and especially people that have influence on me, like hearing them talk about going through therapy and how it's benefited their life, and kind of being an observer of the world, which I feel like I am in many ways. I am always trying to I don't like being the center of attention. I like listening to people and taking mental notes on, just character notes, and kind of trying to just learn things about myself through other people and through other people's mistakes and through my own mistakes. For better or for worse, I'm continually trying to push myself to get better, which I think is a net positive in the end. But it does get a little dicey when you're pushing yourself to max fucking limits. And I've gotten there a few times where I don't know if it's a healthy amount of pushing. And like I said, I don't have all the answers. I don't fucking know what life is going to look like later. It's impossible to tell. The future isn't even, I don't even fucking know what I'm doing tomorrow. I mean, that's kind of a joke. I do know what I'm doing tomorrow, but you get the point. It's mental health in and of itself is so complex, and it's so different for everyone that it's really hard to pinpoint one thing for all people. It just doesn't work like that. So, like I said before, thank you guys for supporting this podcast, whoever is listening, and for supporting Lonely Cowboy. Our whole mission is to push mental health conversations forward and hopefully push the mental health education in schools forward. I have a lot of big plans that it eats me away that I can't fulfill them right now. And I think that's honestly what it hurts me the most, that I can't do everything that I want to do. And it's because of, it's just, nothing happens overnight. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I have so many ideas and I have so many passions, and especially in the creative space and in art and just everything. I've realized more and more that I truly am, and I think I've kind of downplayed this for a while and gotten a little bit of the imposter syndrome when it comes to my art specifically, and my kind of view on myself. I'm very hard on myself, and I don't feel like I deserve what will come with the dreams and aspirations that I have and the goals that I have. It's hard for me to wrap my head around accepting that I am worthy of that, and like I do deserve that, and that's hard. It's very difficult for me to say. I'm still trying to work that shit out. Like, yeah, it's just hard, man. But I'm trying to continue to tell myself, like, no, you're an artist. You are doing something different, and you are pushing boundaries and pushing culture in a way that has never been pushed before. It's a loaded kind of perspective, and I just have to keep being confident in myself, because when I'm not confident in myself, then I just go down a fucking spiral, and that confidence comes from discipline and staying consistent and doing the shit that you know you need to do. But that shit's not always easy when you got fucking ridiculous demons ripping through your brain every day, you know? So I feel for everyone going through difficult times. I have been to hell and back 10 times over. So I get it, and I know how hard shit can be, and I know the excuses that we can give ourselves, and kind of I understand the complexity of mental health. Obviously not the full extent, because I'll keep saying it. I am still young. I have not had the life experience. I don't have the wisdom. I don't have all the answers. But at my age, I do believe I have a pretty solid grasp on mental health and what will help and what will hurt. And that's not to say I'm perfect, because I do a lot of shit that fucking hurts me. So trying to limit that the best I can and try and do things that'll help more. That's essentially the goal. Damn, we're already at 17. I got some, I have some more news or shit, but whatever. It's Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to everyone. I know the holidays can be a difficult time for many people, and I think that's forgotten a lot. I know the holidays, any holiday is difficult for me, whether it's my birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's, like, those are difficult days for me. And I often battle, like, the kind of be grateful for what you have versus not feeling sorry for myself. Like, it's hard for me to accept. I don't even know how I'm trying to word this, but like I these days are hard, and they're hard for a lot of people. So if these days, if like the holiday season is difficult for you and mentally, just know you're not alone, and we'll get through this. Christmas only lasts a day, and then the next day is the 26th, and then it's back to normal, you know? So I get it. I really do. I don't know how exactly to navigate that. I'm still trying to figure it out, because I am very grateful for everyone. Very grateful for my family. Very grateful for my friends. Very grateful for the company, for everything that I have, everything that the universe, the higher power, whatever it may be, everything that I've been blessed with, I'm so incredibly grateful for, and I want to make that very clear, because I do know that not a lot of people get these blessings and these opportunities, and it is tough to hold that as well. And that's kind of where I feel like how can I be sad, or how can I be depressed when I know that this is first world problems? And honestly, like, there's good and bad to that, because it does, once you can kind of accept that and be grateful for what you have, it does makes you feel a little bit better mentally, but also it's okay to not feel okay sometimes, and it's okay to kind of just let emotions go and take the time you need to yourself. I will say though, be careful, because it is a slippery slope, and practice being grateful, because that'll help you look at the world a little bit different. It'll make you look at the people in your life a little bit different. So yeah, if you're having a difficult time this season, just know you're not alone, and I feel for you. I'm in the same boat, but at the same time, look around every once in a while and appreciate what we have, because it's not forever. And you never know when anything can be taken away from you. So to all my friends and family that have stuck with me through thick and thin, and the supporters of this podcast and this company, I truly do love you guys so much. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without you guys, and I just want that to be very clear, that you guys mean the fucking world to me. And it shouldn't take a holiday to be able to express that and kind of appreciate that every day. I think that's why I don't really enjoy the holidays, because I know a lot of people in a lot of situations have to fake how they feel on holidays to make other people happy. And it's like a day where you come, whatever the situation may be. I know a lot of people that are ungrateful and who are malicious and they manipulative and narcissistic. Like, the holidays are not an excuse for bad behavior and unhealthy behavior, especially if it's ill intent and causing people harm. Like, you can't just dismiss that shit, We should be grateful every day, and we should appreciate everything we have every day. That's, I think, a reason why I don't enjoy Christmas specifically, and Thanksgiving. Like, why can't we do this shit every day? Why does it have to be 2 days out of the year that the 2 days that you kind of somewhat reflect and be like, oh, I'm grateful for this and that. And why can't we do that every day? That's what pisses me off. It's like, you go 363 days a year not thinking about being grateful one time, and then 2 days out of the year, all of a sudden you're a fucking saint. Like, that shit pisses me off. And that's kind of why I think Thanksgiving and Christmas are like just another day for me, because I am a firm believer that they really are just other days. And that's not to say, like, obviously they're really good for bringing families together and friends together, and the reflection is good. Even if it is just for those 2 days, I guess it's a net positive. It just really frustrates me when the shit is not, when behavior is not replicated for the rest of the year. Like, why do we only have 2 days where everyone all of a sudden becomes the Lord and Savior and fucking is grateful and expresses love and attention, expresses love and gratitude? Like, do that shit every fucking day. If you're feeling some type of way and you need to tell your friends or family that you love them, like, fucking tell them. You should not just do this on Christmas. and Thanksgiving and whatever holiday it may be, like, that's, I don't even know how to describe that feeling, but to me, Christmas is just another day, and same with Thanksgiving and same with my birthday. Like, I don't want it to be a special day because every day is special. You never know when shit's going to go south. You never know when hard times are going to come. So you have to, as best you can, be grateful every single fucking day you are alive and healthy on this planet, and make sure you do your best to express your love and gratitude for your friends and family, the ones who stick by you. And kind of going into another topic of titles, like, if you're in a situation surrounded by people, I don't care if it's your family or your friends. Like, if people are causing you harm and making you feel shitty about yourself, doesn't matter what their fucking title is, get them out of your life. There's no time to waste on negative energy and negative people. Be the example for the next generation, because we can't let this shit go on any longer. There's generational problems going on, and if they aren't addressed now, it's just going to keep going. It's a fucking vicious cycle that has to be broken. And generational trauma has gone on for far too long, and no one has been accountable for it. No one has taken responsibility for it. No one wants to man up and change, and that shit pisses me off, and I just have absolutely zero tolerance for it. So, to the best of your ability, everybody's situation is different, but I hope if you are in a situation where people are bringing you down, whether that's a family member, a so-called good friend, or whoever, don't be afraid to stand your ground and stand up for yourself and not accept bad, like, negative behavior. You're worth so much more than that. Every human is worth so much more than that. And we need, as a community, and like literally as a human, we need to fucking change this shit, because it can't go on any longer. We're fucked if we do. I feel for the kids coming up now, and it breaks my heart to see kids in similar situations mentally as I was as a kid. Like, I wish I could give them all the strength and power in the world to make change in their life, get negative people out, and bring positive people in. Like, titles should not, you should never act based on a title that you have, if that makes sense. I'm going to wrap it up here soon. And what else? I got an Apple Pencil, which has been a game changer for designs, and hopefully I'll be able to put out more clothing now that I can design them myself and really showcase my art and really try and establish myself as an artist and as a designer. I realized through the whole process of Lonely Cowboy and everything, like, if you want to get shit done, you got to do it yourself. It's just it causes a lot of headaches when you're relying on other people, even if, like, you're doing it out of good intent to, you want to help other people shine too. And that's kind of where my head was at through a lot of this, but, like, I've realized that people's lives and people's goals are different than mine, and that's okay. That's 100% normal, and that's how it should be. Everyone that should have their own goals and own dreams. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, now I'm taking on another role of lead designer, which I think I should have been doing from the fucking beginning. But just through trials and tribulations and fine-tuning the whole system I created, it brought me to this point where now I have the ability to be my own designer and really build my name as an artist. So I'm excited for that. It's a little bit more work than I already have so much shit on my plate, but I'm excited for this one, and I really hope I can put out some cool designs and clothing and really build my name as an artist, because like I was saying in the beginning of this podcast, I think recently I've realized I am a creative person, and I will never be able to change that. If I'm not being creative, whether that's in music or designs or painting, fucking clothing, blogging, writing a book, documentary, podcast, I need to be creating something and working for something, a bigger goal than myself. If I can't do that, I'm a very, very unhappy camper. It is so ingrained in me to be creative and innovative. I just can't stop. It fuels me. It's the only thing that motivates me, and not being creative really, really puts a damper on my mental health. It is my way of expressing. It's my way of releasing negative shit that I want to kind of communicate with the world through my eyes, because a lot of the times it's hard for me to communicate via words, ironically, because I have a fucking podcast. But yeah, I'm excited for that. A few other things I got. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it, honestly. Just, I guess I'll wrap it up here. This is episode fucking 63, day 16 of 30. Be grateful as much as you can. I'm very grateful for you guys. I fucking love you so, so, so much. This community is my world. This company is my world. Everyone involved. You guys are literally my rock, and I wouldn't trade any of you for anything. Everyone that has helped on this company so far, whether it's the smallest thing or the biggest thing, whatever it is, you mean the world to me. So yeah, have a safe holiday season. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Do something for yourself, and don't put other people's needs before yours. Even though I'm a culprit of that, I do that shit damn near every day. But as best you can, love yourself, be grateful, and I will catch you next time. Thank you guys so much. The support means the absolute world. This is Christmas Eve, day 16, episode 63. Peace.